We live in a world where thinking out of the ordinary is quite hard, and only those who manage to do so, well, succeed. Wise words said by a wise man to a wise audience. I am the wise man. So this is me, a very naive developer trying to succeed in the game development industry as an indie game developer. And in this video, I'll show you a month in the life of a game developer. So if you've been subscribed to my channel, you know I'm currently working on a rubber hose game based on the first versions of Mickey and Oswald from the 1920s, and it's been a while since I updated you on it. I know I said I was gonna update you every now and then. I will continue the devlogs once I have done major updates on the game. I realized I don't want to spoil the entire game actually, and it was just too much work editing the videos, working on the game, having so many new features you wanted me to add. So I decided to make my own take on the game and just see your reactions and take feedback from there, you know. So in case you didn't know, I am an indie game developer, freelancer. I work on Fiverr and also outside of Fiverr, and in this video I'm going to show you everything I've been working on, all the projects I've been getting. And yeah, starting off, the first client is actually someone I have worked with in the past, and I actually made a video on the project I did for him, which was an app for an axe throwing location. The app has many games that he projects on a wooden wall. This time around he has an escape room where players are also able to play Werewolf. In case you don't know what Werewolf is, it's a party game with cards. It's really fun. So he wants a system where he can connect tablets as clients to a server that will be in his computer. So this will serve as the host of the game where the players will be given their roles and also have the timers and all that. I also sent him a quote with the time and the price of the project. So he accepted it and we were ready to start the order. Now that is something I always do. I always send them before starting the order exactly what they'll receive, because I just want to make sure they get exactly what they requested, and I don't want to work more or disappoint the client. So the second client that contacted me wanted to make a game that it was supposed to be more of a prototype. At first I didn't quite understand the project, but then I realized they don't actually have a game idea, so then I offered them to make a game from scratch for $250, but they thought it was too expensive. So then I decided to offer them to use a Unity asset because I was not gonna make a game for the amount they were offering, and they finally accepted the order for $100 and delivery in 10 days. So client number 3 is actually friends with the previous client, the one that has a crypto coin. He also has a crypto coin of his own, and he as well doesn't really have a game idea, but it needed to be related to the sun and have solar panel. So it took me like 2 days to come up with an idea for him. I made a sketch for him also to be very clear of what he'll be receiving, but the general idea of the game is basically there are going to be 3 hazards going towards the city, and you need to place the fences in the right spot in order to prevent those hazards. So we were ready to start the order, and I made an offer for $200 and delivery in 10 days. So the fourth client wants a mobile game, sort of like an air hockey game, but with a twist, where players, instead of using a paddle to push the coin around, they use their finger, and the board is full of nails. So this client was very skeptical and just didn't want to get scammed or disappointed, which is 100% understandable. Anyways, I told him I could do a prototype for him for $100 and even offered him a refund in case he didn't like it, and he accepted it, and we started the order. Okay, so project number 5 I'm working on is with someone I have worked with in the past. I made this game called Dunked with him, which you can check right now in Google Play and in the App Store. That was a great shot. I actually made a video on how I made it, and I'm also responsible for fixing any bug that comes up, so yeah, thank you. So if you find any, you can drop a comment here. I would appreciate that. Alright, so now we're currently working on a new game which is not live yet. It's called Pig's Guess, which I'll show it to you right now. Albert Einstein. Oh!
Huh? Can you guess them all?
So this is a game, it might look simple, but we have been working on it for quite a while now, and the person I'm working with, Daniel, is also a developer, and he actually made an API that allows us to add new categories and levels even when the game is live, and all the images are AI generated, and the design of the game was actually made by someone else, someone he hired, and I think it looks really cool. I put it all together in Unity and make the different systems it has. Coffee. I think I can live without it. No, it's not an addiction. I know that's what an addicted person would say, but I'm just different. It just helps me a lot when I'm stressed, and I get stressed a lot. So tomorrow is the due date of the Werewolf system, and I'm still struggling with something. I can't get the clients to connect with the server. I'll need to speak with the client. So I ended up requesting an extra week because I couldn't figure it out and I was missing a few other things. Anyways, he accepted it, and yeah. I also sent him a preview so he knows where I'm at with the project. Alright, so the issue I was having was due to trying to create the player from a client directly. However, clients cannot create players on their own. Instead, they should send a command to the server, which will then create a player for the client. Here's a detailed breakdown of how this specific system works. When a client connects, they input their name and an image and send this data to the server. The server then receives the request, creates the player, and adds them to a list of players. This allows the server to keep track of all the clients and lets players access each other's details. The server assigns an ID, a role like Villager or Werewolf, a vote ID to track who the player votes for, and an isActive boolean to indicate if the player is alive or not. So yeah, I know this is not a technical video, but I just wanted to show you, so yeah. And here is the system in action. So the small window is like the device and the server would be the big window. So as you can see, we can already connect the players, the clients, and everything I do is also displayed in the device. On day number 1 for the third client, I started writing all the details down and the different components for the different systems. I like to do that so I don't end up writing spaghetti code, even though sometimes it's hard to prevent it. Anyway, this game has fairly simple concept, so I was able to get it done quickly. I sent it to him and he was pleased so far. I mean, I sent a draft. So this is the state of the draft I sent him, the state of the game so far. I told him I was going to change the icons to make it easier to know what is the counter of what. He also sent me his logo to add it to the game, and yeah. So for the fourth client, the one with the air hockey game with nails, I started designing the football field in Illustrator, and then I brought everything into Unity and started putting all together and also added nails, and yeah, everything was going smoothly. On the other hand, started adding new art for the game, things I found on FreePic for the design, etc. The fourth client, I started making a to-do list in Notion of everything I needed to do, and yeah. But with the third client, I started making a to-do list as well. They only had 16 hours. For the fourth client, I started working on the coin that's gonna be pushed around. The third client, I still was working on the to-do list. The fourth client, I still was working on the coin. I started working on the amazing for the fourth client, for the fourth client, for the fourth client, for the fourth client. I sent our hockey game as a draft to the fourth client. And this is the final result of the third client's game, which I'm gonna deliver right now. So there was only an hour remaining, but I had everything ready, so I delivered the game. So he accepted the delivery and also left feedback, but in order to see that feedback, I need to review him first as well. So everything went smoothly, so I left him a 5-star review, and he also gave me 5 stars, and here is his review. So client number 2, the one that has a crypto coin, I made a login page in which the player can use their Solana address and password. I really didn't record much of the process, but in general I changed the player cat and added monkeys and snakes. and gates. And as you can see, I also integrated their logo all over the map, and I also made the coins you collect in Illustrator. I delivered the game and everything went well. So moving on, the client of Dear Hockey, he said he liked it so far, but he didn't have much time to keep working on the game and checking it. So I delivered it, and we agreed to keep on working on it later on when he has more time. For the Werewolf system, as you can see, everything is working, and the server can change the phases between nighttime and in discussion, and also kill players and revive them, give them roles, among other things. In the client side, you can vote for other players, and you can also check on your role and see the states and the names of all the players and all that. You also get notified when another player is killed, of course. So since everything was ready, I delivered it. So he really liked it. However, we did agree on 2 revisions, so he came back with a list of things such as a way to know when a client gets disconnected and when a client connects. He also wanted me to change the client screen since he didn't want a poker table. There were other things, so I made a Notion with all the things, and once everything was checked, I delivered and he accepted. I really enjoy working on this project. I learned many things I hadn't worked on before, and this is the first time, like the first project I work on where it has some sort of multiplayer system. Now I'm going to slow down with Fiverr. I've been getting a lot of new requests, but since I am currently working with the person I worked on, Dunked and Pixkes, and we're currently working on a few really cool projects, and I also want to continue on Untold Capers. So in order to do that, I can't enroll in any new big projects. And I will get back to Untold Capers now, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next or previous video.